Hi, in this video we're going to look at using visual builders in a WordPress website setting. This video covers the use of WPBakery, which is one of the more common visual builders that you'll find with a lot of themes. You can do a Google search for WPBakery to find the free download of the software, and then you can go into your plugins on your website, add new, and you can upload the software. Once the plugin's been activated, you'll see a section on your CMS called WPBakery Page Builder, but we can go straight into using it on your pages and posts. There is a premium version which is a licensed annual license, which gives you additional functionality, but most people make do on the free version. However, with the free version, you won't be able to update the software. So you may find at some point that you need to upgrade in order to stay compatible with the latest PHP software for your website. Although this software is specific to WordPress websites, the principles we're going to cover in this video are generic and are compatible to most websites that you may use. So the first thing we would do is to create a new page. We'll create a new page and we'll just call it our demo page. Now you can see at the top here we have backend editor and front-end editor. So you can use WordPress in its raw format if you want to, but we're going to do backend editor. And you can see it's already created the WPBakery section. You can see at the top here we have a couple of options. The hat will take you through to the WPBakery page to try and get you to upgrade. The plus is to add a new element, which we'll look at in a second. And the templates, if you've created or saved templates of your own, this is where you would access them. Or if you're on the premium version, it's where you can access the templates that have already been predefined for you to use. On this side we have, these are undo and redo buttons once you've started to do work. We can make the screen size bigger if you want to get rid of all of the outside of the WordPress screen, and that's just a CSS option to add your own formatting to the page. Okay, down here as well we have the add element, which is the same as up there, add text block and add template. So we're going to start by adding an element. So you'll see the first thing you see is loads of different options within here that you can choose from. Now bear in mind this is a free option, so there's quite a lot to choose from even with the free options. You can see along the top there we have the various tabs, but I normally stick with all because you can see everything in one go. You may need to be aware of deprecated. This is more relevant probably once you've gone further down, maybe you're revisiting your website at a later date. Deprecated are the ones that you may be using already, which are no longer supported in the later versions of the Bakery page builder. There's normally something to replace them though. I normally want to work with rows and columns. Using a page builder enables you to have a different structure for your website page. With a typical website, with a typical WordPress editor, you would have a single column that you can work in, unless you added things like tables. With a visual builder, it enables you to work with rows and columns, so you can have different sections within your website page. It gives you a lot more flexibility around what you're building. So we'll start off here by adding a row. So you can see here it's created our row that we can add things into. Up here we can split that row into columns, so it defaults to a single column. But if I want to split that into two columns, or 2/3 plus 1/3, like that, we can have any sort of series that we want to. If we've got some little icons we want to add in there, we can have 6 columns going across, but we'll stick with 1 for the time being. Over here is where you can edit and add CSS to editing to that particular row. So for each section you create, you'll see this pencil. The pencil allows you to edit the element that you're on. So this one allows me to edit the row settings. If I click on here, this allows me to edit the column settings, because the page is split into rows and columns. So if I change that to 2, you'd obviously have that would edit the row, and each one of these would be specific editing to the column that you're working on. Just put that back to, well, it's very easy to switch between number of columns and number of rows. Some of the benefits of editing a row would be to set padding and margin. So if you want a padding on either side of the row, you could add it here. You can also set your borders, your background colors, and so on. The other quite useful thing on the row settings is you're able to disable a row. So if you were working on something and maybe you want to change it or try something else, you can always disable the row temporarily, and that just means that it will shade it out. It's still there and you can reuse it in the future by just re-enabling it, but it just means for the moment it's not enabled and it won't be seen on the front of the website. Okay, so within the row, this is where we can now add our element that we want to work with. So there's things like text blocks if you want to add some text in there. Let's get rid of that. We can add images. You can also search, so if you're looking for something like for images, you can add a single image, image gallery, image carousel so it rotates. So I'm just going to add text blocks for now. Okay, and we'll just save the defaults there. Then I'm going to add another row underneath, so we have separate rows. And this time I'm going to have 2 columns, and I'm going to add an image. That was an image gallery, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to add some images. So I've added some images in there, and we can set the image size. That gives you some options underneath, or you can set a particular specific pixel size. You can say what to do on the click. There's loads of different options you can go through. Design options again allows you to add some, let's just put a little bit of a margin in there if you want some margins. So we'll save that, and on this side we'll just add something else. Just add a quick FAQ toggle. Okay, I'm not going to worry filling that in too much, but I'll just save that just for an example. Okay, so we're just going to preview that page, and you can see how quickly we've created something. Okay, so you can see there that the top section is full width, and then we've got 2 columns here. That's the FAQs that would, if you added more, there'd be more on the list, and the gallery that's going around. So it's very simple just to create a quick page, and you can see the structure, the way it works with rows and columns, and adding different sections and different content type into that website. There's obviously a lot more to content builders, but really the best way to find out is to get in there and have a play. Hope you found this video useful. I'm going to cover off the Divi Builder next, which is a little bit different because the builder is integrated within the theme, all part of the same thing. This is obviously an external plugin which you can use with any theme or just with the basic WordPress themes to create something that you want your website to look like.